Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hey there, kids. How are you doing? Welcome back to today's class. And I hope you had a look at the submission video and it made sense to you on how to go ahead and make all of the submissions for whatever classes and whatever courses you've been going ahead and attending. Now, let's get started with what we have to go ahead and do today. But before we get started with that, I want to go ahead and discuss a few things here and there, before the list of materials and what we're actually going to go ahead and do today. So, firstly, I want to go ahead and discuss about the certificate program that we have going on. The certificate program is a very, very, very simple program wherein you will get a certificate for all of the classes that you're already going ahead and attending. So what I mean by that is that you're going ahead and attending, certain courses, certain classes already, right? So only certain things, if you definitely, make a point of and you tend to follow, then you will go ahead and get a certificate at the end. What I mean by those points are very simple. Firstly, what you have to go ahead and do is attend all of your classes. So for example, if you're going ahead and attending this landscape course wherein you're learning how to do the drawing and coloring, we have 4 classes. Make sure you attend all 4 classes and you don't miss 1 or 2 classes here and there. That is the first thing that is very important. The second thing that is very important is you going ahead and submitting all of your work. So that is also very, very important. Make sure you go ahead and submit all of your work or all of your submissions for any class or any course that you're attending. If you go ahead and do the both, then what will happen is we'll sort of have like an identification that you have gone ahead and attended all of the classes, plus you've made all of your submissions. So you've learned the skill that we are teaching you, and you can go ahead and get a certificate. Now, what is the use of the certificate necessarily? Like, is it going to come to use to you in any possible way? Yes, it is going to come to so much use in the future. So what I mean in that by that is that if you go ahead and have the certificate, you can go ahead and show it to your teachers, your colleagues, your friends, some parents, whoever is interested in seeing what your skills lie in. You can go ahead and show it to them and be like, this is what I have learned. Now this is the time where you're going ahead and doing all of these courses online, and it is like super exciting that you're already going ahead and doing it, and getting a certificate for it and then having an identification to show whoever you want to show tomorrow is like an added bonus. So keep that in mind. Now, apart from that, let's go ahead and discuss a little bit about the submissions that we have going on. Like as part of your submissions, 10 of you get picked up as the top 10, wherein you're going ahead and doing an excellent job with your work. But one thing that I have been noticing is that some of you sometimes don't go ahead and submit your work. If the reason is because you've not done a very good job in that class, I would like for you to anyway go ahead and submit your work. A lot of you might be a little scared that I've not not done a good job with this class and I feel like I could have done better. Should I go ahead and submit it? Yes, please go ahead and submit your work. The reason behind it is basically because I will get an idea of what your progress is like. So from the first class, second class, third class, I'll get an idea as to what you're doing and how you're improving. Maybe your first class you weren't that great, but your second class you got a little better, third class you got a little better. So if you only submit the third and fourth class, then how will I know how you were doing in your first and second class? I won't really know, right? So go ahead and submit all of your work so that I get an idea of what you're doing and what you're not doing. So now let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to go ahead and do today. Today we're going to be doing another landscape drawing, and the topic that we have today are a bunch of mountains or a landscape related to mountains, a mountain scenery, whatever you want to go ahead and call it. But basically mountains is our key point over here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and do a beautiful scenery, after which we're going to go ahead and outline, and then we're going to go ahead and color. So I hope you're excited for today's class, because I am super excited about today's class. So let's go ahead and start talking about all the materials that we need for today's class. All right, so the first thing that you need for today's class is obviously going to be a sheet of paper. So you can go ahead and take a sketchbook, drawing book, journal book, any book of that kind that you have, like I have right here. If you don't have a journal book, drawing book, or whatever kind of book, you can go ahead and take an unrolled sheet of paper, or you can go ahead and take an A4 size sheet of paper, or you can go ahead and take any loose drawing sheet of paper. So you do get loose drawing sheets. You can go ahead and take that. That will work absolutely well. The next thing that you'll need for today's class is going to be a pencil. We're going to be using the pencil to do an outline or a border. And the next thing we're going to be using it for is actually drawing the landscape itself. The third thing that you need for today's class is going to be a set of crayons. Now here I have the DOMS crayon set, wax crayon set of 12 colors. Now you can go ahead and have as many colors as you like. If you have more than 12, then that's completely fine. But 12 would be a minimum, because I'll be going ahead and utilizing most of these colors. Whether it's not for this picture, then for another picture we will be going ahead and using it. So have like around 12 set would work absolutely well. The next thing that you need for today's class is going to be a sketch pen. Here we're going to be going ahead and outlining our picture, our landscape. So we need a sketch pen for that. So any sketch pen, black marker, whatever you have in black would work absolutely well. The last thing that we need for today's class is going to be a scale, because we're going to be going ahead and drawing a boundary line, plus we need to go ahead and draw a horizon line or a sleeping line that divides our the picture from the bottom. That is, we have our road and all of that, and we have our sky. So to divide our sheet of paper into two, we will need a scale as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we have to go ahead and do in today's class is draw an outer boundary. Now here you can go ahead and take the help of your scale to do it, and if you feel like you're going to go ahead and struggle a bit and you're not going to be able to do it by yourself, then you can go ahead and get your mother or father to go ahead and do it for you, or any person that you have at home. Maybe your grandparents are with you right now. Go ahead and get them to draw this. If you can do it by yourself, that's absolutely well as well. Go ahead and draw it by yourself. Have it nice and neat. You want your boundaries to be beautiful, because this is going to give you a beautiful picture. In some books you will have a drawing line already there, an outer line already there. So if you do have an outer line already there as part of your book, then you don't have to go ahead and do this part of it. I'm going to wait here just for a couple of seconds, so as to know that everybody's gone ahead and finished up their work. So I can see most of your books and everybody is doing a wonderful job. I can see that everybody is pretty much done with their work. If you are done, you can also go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat box, so I know that you're done and we can move on. Well done, everybody. Good job. All right. So since everybody is done, we can go ahead and move on to the next step of today's drawing. The next step is going to be to go ahead and draw a sleeping line right through the center of the page. So here again, I'm taking the help of our scale to do that. If you feel like you need to take help for this from your parents or grandparents, go ahead and do that if you need to. So there we have our next step done. Perfect. Very, very well done, everybody. Doing such an excellent job. I'm so happy to see everybody do such a wonderful job. It makes me, very like joyful that everybody is doing such a good job with their drawings. Perfect. Well done. Okay, so next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and draw a road. So for our road, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and start from that top line. So you can see what I did was I started from the top line and I did my line going outward. So from narrow to fat. That's the whole idea that we were going with, and that's what you have to go ahead and do. Go from narrow to fat. Perfect. Very, very well done, everybody. Excellent job. Perfect. Okay, all right. So everybody's done with this. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is if you've ever looked at a road, you normally have the white line in the center, right? So that's what we're going to go ahead and draw. So we're going to draw two thin lines coming from the center of the road. And for the same thing I've done for this one as well. On the top, I've gone ahead and done it thin. But as I've come at the bottom, I've made it a little fatter. Now the reason being because, it makes it look a little nicer. You have something called a perspective image. So it makes it look like that. It makes it look like the road next to you is nice and big, but as it goes away, it's sort of disappearing. So that's the look that we are going for. Perfect. Everybody's done a good job. Here, you don't need to go ahead and use a scale. Go ahead and do it freehand because you'll be easily able to do it. Well done. Now the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to draw some mountains. So here I want you to draw like two wiggly shapes basically, but going up and coming down. Make sure it's wiggly because the more wiggly your mountain is, the better it's going to look. The more realistic your mountain is going to look because no mountain is like this pointy. All mountains are sort of wiggly in nature. So make sure you go ahead and do that wiggly bit. All right, everybody is pretty much done. Excellent. Now, next thing that we're going to do is on the other side, we're going to draw again two more wiggly mountains. That's going to be the next step of our drawing. Perfect. So you can see that center portion I have left empty. I've not gone ahead and filled that up with the mountain because basically what I am going for in this drawing is that the road is passing through the two mountains. That's how it's going. So there are two sets of mountains and the road is passing through it. So that's the whole idea behind it. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is I want it to be like snow-capped mountains wherein, it's been snowing, it's a beautiful weather and everything. So we're going to go ahead and draw, the snow-capped part. So again, we're going to do wiggly lines. So like, how you do it with ice creams and things like that, exactly in the same format, wiggly lines on top. Perfect. That's it. There you go. We have our wiggly lines done. So now we have our snow-capped mountains ready. Perfect. The drawing is coming together very, very well and easily. So it's small steps you keep building up and you do such beautiful drawings, right? Amazing, everybody. Very well done. Perfect. So now since everybody's gone ahead and finished their snow-capped mountains, we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be to draw a bunch of clouds. So what I'm going to do is in the middle of the two mountains where we have that big gap, plus all around, we're going to go ahead and do a bunch of a bunch of clouds. Now for my clouds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a sleeping line and then the cloud shape on top rather than doing, the cloud shape top and bottom. So sleeping line and then the cloud shape. And this is what I'm going to continue all over. You can go ahead and do whatever kind of cloud you like. If you want to go ahead and do your normal clouds, go ahead and do that. If you want to go ahead and do the kind of clouds that I am doing right now, then go ahead and do that as well, whatever you prefer. So here I have my clouds done. I'm going to wait for a minute or so over here just in case, some of you are still going ahead and doing your clouds or going ahead and doing your mountains. There's no issues whatsoever. Always take your time whenever you're doing a drawing or a coloring class or, you're doing any art form because it is going to take time for you to develop any art form. You do not want to go ahead and rush into any art because it will end up looking dirty. So be as neat as you can. Perfect. So now what we can go ahead and do, since everybody is pretty much finished with their work, we can go ahead and start drawing trees. Now we're going to go ahead and draw two trees on this side of the road and we're going to draw trees on this side of the road. So let's go ahead and start drawing that. So you can see on either side I'm pointing that out. I'm going ahead and drawing two trees, so two standing lines is what I'm doing, and then like the cloud I'm drawing like a whole fluffy thing. That's what I'm going ahead and doing right here. And the same thing behind. Now here you can go ahead and do a smaller tree if you don't have too much space. I didn't have enough space, to go ahead and draw a big tree, so I went ahead and drew a small tree. If you want to go ahead and draw two big trees, that's absolutely fine. Draw whatever fits into your picture. Perfect, well done. Now on this side we're going to do the same thing, two standing lines and then the tree, and behind that again same thing, two standing lines and the tree. Perfect. Well done. Excellent job, everybody. Very, very happy with your drawing. Now, this picture looks almost finished, but it's not done yet. I wanted to go ahead and also add a little bit more greenery to this picture. So I decided to go ahead and add in a bunch of grass right at that bottom where we have that gap over there. So for our grass, what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to go up and down, pointy, pointy. You can go ahead and curve it out if you want the pointies, but I'm just going to go ahead and do straight, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and do curves. You can go ahead and do straight points as well in order to make it look like us. So you can see I'm doing, few straight, few slanting, few the way I want to go ahead and do it in order to get my grass. You can do it the way you like it. Perfect. So now we have our completed drawing. This is our full picture drawn, the landscape picture that we needed to do for today's class. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for you in any places if you feel like you've gone ahead and made a mistake. For example, you made a mistake in your mountains, you made a mistake in your clouds, you've gone made a mistake with your trees. Go ahead and correct the whole thing out, because I'm just going to wait here, all of you to finish up your work and then we can carry on. So go ahead and finish it up. Okay. If you're finished, go ahead and put in a thumbs up down so I know you've gone ahead and corrected out any mistakes, or maybe you didn't have any mistakes, whatever it is. Go ahead and mark that out for me. Okay, I see a bunch of thumbs up already. I can see most of you have finished, which I'm very happy with. Glad to see you all finish so fast. I see nobody has made too many mistakes. Excellent. All right, so since most of you have not gone ahead and made mistakes, we can move on to the next step. If you're going ahead and still correcting out your mistakes, take your time, because the next step is very simple. The next step is all about outlining. So here you can go ahead and take the black color sketch pen that we had, and you don't have to do it with me here. Go ahead and start outlining throughout. All of us love outlining. Outlining is my favorite part of any drawing. After drawing it, I love outlining, so this is my favorite part of the drawing. So go ahead and finish up your outlining. You don't have to wait for me here. Like I said, you can go ahead and finish up your outlining before I even do it. So do it neatly though. Don't try to make it like a race wherein you have to do it faster than someone else. That's not the key here. The key only is that if you are faster than, me or your friends, then you don't have to wait for us. But that doesn't mean you go ahead and do it faster than everybody and make it untidy. Make sure you make it really, really nice and tidy. So here you can see I'm taking my time, slowly drawing all of my outlines. I'm not rushing into it anywhere. So taking my time, slowly, neatly doing one cloud. Outlining is very good in order to, kind of define the spaces that we're going to go ahead and color. We're going to have like sort of like an identification of where we want to color, where we do not want to color. So outlining is a very good bet. Even if you're going ahead and doing any drawings at home, make sure you go ahead and do a good outline for any picture. If you don't want to go ahead and use a black outline, that's fine. You don't have to always do a black color outline. But if you feel like, I want to go ahead and do a colorful outline, that's also fine. But at least make sure to go ahead and do the outline. That's what's most important. So now I just have, the trees and my grass left, and I will be done. And I'm looking at most of your sheets. Everybody's sheets looking good. I think most of you have gone ahead and, understood how to go ahead and do this. So excellent job, everybody. Very well done. So have my two more trees and my grass to go. Excellent job, everybody. I'm looking at everybody's sheets. Wonderful, wonderful job. All right, so my trees are done. Finally, let's move on to my grass. Perfect. And grass on this side. And that's it, done. So here we have our finished picture in terms of our outlining as well. Now the next step is going to be to go ahead and start the coloring process of it. Now, like I mentioned, we have a whole set of crayons that we want to go ahead and use for today's class. So that's what we're going to go ahead and start with today. So the first color that you will need for coloring today is going to be a dark blue color. We're going to go ahead and do it as part of the sky. Now here, when you're coloring, try to do one directional coloring. Don't go ahead and do coloring in different directions. Try to go in one direction. So that's the first thing that I want to tell you. And second thing is, the whole sky is not going to be dark blue color. We're going to do half of the sky dark blue color, and the rest of the sky we're going to do light blue color. So approximately half, go ahead and do dark blue like I'm doing right here. And again, take your time. Try not to go over your clouds. Your clouds are always going to be white, so just leave that part out. You just want to go ahead and do all of your around your clouds. You want to go ahead and do your dark blue. Well done. Okay, most of you have finished your dark blue. Excellent, and are now waiting for me. Very good. Okay, so now the next color is going to be light blue. The remaining part of your sky, we're going to go ahead and finish. Now here, just be careful when you start doing the light blue color. You want to avoid the mountains and you want to go ahead and avoid the clouds. Those are the two things that you want to go ahead and avoid. So you can see I'm avoiding the mountain as well as the clouds. Now here you don't have to do any form of blending. You don't have to do anything. You just have to go ahead and simply color. Very, very easy. So see, so simple, isn't it? Perfect. Very, very well done. So you can see I've not left any gaps in terms of the sky. Only wherever there were the mountains and the clouds, have gone ahead and left the gaps. Very well done, everybody. Looking beautiful, looking nice. Okay, so since everybody's finished up their, sky bit of it, we can move on to the next part of our coloring. The next part of our coloring is going to be doing the mountains. So we're going to go ahead and take a purple color, wax crayon, and we're going to go ahead and start coloring it. Here, there's not going to be any difference in color. We're not going to be using two colors. We're just going to be using one color. But one thing to keep in mind, you do not want to go ahead and cover the top ice cream part of it, like I was saying. That's going to be the snow part of it, and the snow part is going to be white. So don't do that part. Apart from that, go ahead and color the rest of it out. Perfect, everybody. Good job. So you can see I've left the top part out and only the bottom part I'm coloring. And you can see I'm being very precise with my coloring right here. I'm taking my own time to do all of the coloring. I am not rushing into the coloring, which is very, very important. Perfect. So there I have my mountain part done. So the whole top part of our picture, we've gone ahead and finished up with the coloring. Now we have just the bottom half of the picture to do. The bottom half of the picture is mostly green with a little bit of black. The road is black. So now we can go ahead and get started with that. The first color that we're going to go ahead and take is a dark green. So for our dark green, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and do only half of the ground part of it. So you can see I'm pointing that half part out. We're going to go ahead and do half part. So what I want to do is basically do dark green and then light green, sort of like, giving a beautiful look to it. So you can see I'm just doing dark green for the top half of it. You can go ahead and do this approximately. You don't have to do it exactly half. So just go ahead and do it approximately. So you can see even mine is not half, practically it's lesser than half. So that's fine. As long as you have the dark green on top and light green at the bottom, it's fine. So that's how I want it to look. Perfect. So approximately this much, as you can see, I've gone ahead and done with dark green. Excellent. Very, very well done, everybody. Beautiful work, everybody. Beautiful work. Very well done. Excellent. Okay, good. So since everybody is giving me thumbs up already about, doing the dark green, let's move on to doing the light green after this. So go ahead and take your light green color and start filling it up. So here again, take your time. Now here you want to go ahead and avoid the trees, as well as you want to go ahead and avoid that bottom grass. Both of those we do not want to go ahead and color light green. We're going to, color them step by step. So only the grass part of it right now. We will be using green over there, but still avoid it so that, you can learn how to do part by part of the painting always, part by part of the picture. So you can see I've left the grass and the two, trees in that one, and same thing on this side as well, leaving both of the trees and leaving the grass out at the bottom and just coloring the rest of it. Perfect. So you can see super easy, super nice. And there we go. Perfect. So now if you look at the picture, you can see that, we have the dark green part and now the light green part done. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and start doing the coloring of the trees. Now the two trees that are at the back or the two trees that are closer to the mountain, we're going to go ahead and do light green. Whereas the two front trees that we have, we're going to go ahead and do dark green, as well as the grass in the front, we're going to go ahead and do dark green. So light green, dark green, dark green. So you can go ahead and get started. You've already got the drill of how to go ahead and do the coloring. So you can do the coloring even before me. I've given you sort of like the instructions. So you can see I'm going ahead and taking my dark green and doing the front part first. So doing my dark green bit. Very easy, not hard at all, very easy. So dark green, dark green. And perfect. So you can see dark green of the whole bottom part is done. That's step number one, done. And now step number two is again going ahead and doing the dark green for these two trees. So that's one and that's two. Perfect, well done. So those two done. And the last two trees now, like I said, we're going to go ahead and do light green. I can see some of you have already started without me doing the light green, but good job, everybody. Whoever is doing it with me, alongside me, or is even doing little slower than me, completely fine. It's good that I'm seeing all of you take your time and do your work. It's excellent to, take your time and do your work and not rush into it. Always very, very important. So good job, everybody. All right, so now we've gone ahead and done the trees. Now we just have the tree trunks and the row to go ahead and do. So let's get started with both of them. We're going to go ahead and take our brown color crayon and we're going to go ahead and do the trunks. So simply going ahead and coloring it brown. Super easy to do. Well done. So now for the road, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and do black on either side and remain leaving the center part completely empty. The reason why we're doing that is because, like I told you, on the road we have, that line always in the center that's there. So we're going to leave that line in the center as is, and we're going to do black on either side. So taking my black and I'm going to go ahead and start coloring that in. Take your time when you're coloring anything. You don't have to rush into it. That's why I'm not going super fast as well. I'm coloring, in your speed, taking my time, not rushing into it. Take your time, always get it as neat as possible. If you feel like, you're not able to catch up with all of us in class, then go ahead and just mark out all of the colors, and after you're done with the class, go ahead and color it out later and then make your submission. It's completely fine. Just mark out your colors and it'll help you. That's perfectly all right to do. Perfect. Perfect. Very well done. And there we have our finished drawing. All right, so you can see how beautiful our mountain scenery is looking. It's looking absolutely beautiful. I am so in love with this picture that we've gone ahead and done with our snow-capped mountain and our bright sunny clouds on top, and then we have our greenery right at the bottom, and we have our amazing black road in the center. We have our picture. Now for those of you who have already finished the coloring, outlining and proper drawing, good on you, very good. For all of those who are still going ahead and doing a little bit of the coloring and still have some leftover bits, go ahead and take all of the colors that you need and mark out all of the colors, and right after the class, go ahead and color it and then submit it. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to go ahead and do it at the same pace as what all of us are doing it with. Some of us like taking our time with coloring, and coloring is supposed to be soothing. Coloring is supposed to be something that you aram se sit down and do. So take your time to go ahead and do it. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to do it jaldi or finish it really quickly. So take your time in doing it, and be happy doing the whole thing. So now, since most of you have finished and marked out your colors also, I can see a lot of you have marked out your colors. Excellent job, everybody. All right, so amazing, good job, everybody. Excellent. I am so happy with all of your work. So good job on all of you in terms of drawing, outlining and coloring. For those of you who haven't finished yet, I can still see your work, and I feel like the ending and the look that it's going to have right at the end is going to look absolutely amazing. You've done such a wonderful job. So happy with your work. Now in terms of finishing up today's class, couple of pointers to remember before we end. First thing, certificate program. Attend all of your classes. 2, to get the certificate again, you have to make all of your submissions, whether it's a good submission, bad submission. Make your submission so we have a record of your work. 3, make your submission in order to either get selected as part of the top 10 or in general for me to go ahead and see your progress. So definitely go ahead and make your submissions. Now we've gone ahead and done something really fun in today's class and the last 2 classes as well, where we went ahead and learned so many beautiful landscapes. Now we still have one more class of this landscape drawing and coloring course remaining, which we're going to go ahead and do next. Now in that class, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and learn how to do a beach. So I hope you're super excited to go ahead and do that beach. We're going to have a beautiful cute umbrella as well. So I hope you're excited about that class as well. So I will see you in that class. Till then, make sure you make all of your submissions and have a look at the submission video right now. Bye bye. Have a nice day, all of you.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions.